Lesson 6.3, using rates to solve problems. To use a rate to solve a problem, let's follow these 3 steps. Step 1, write the rate given to you in the problem. Number 2, find the unit rate. And then number 3, multiply or divide by a number to find the equivalent rate that you're looking for. We have 3 examples on your paper we're going to go through. Example number 1 says Mark can make 42 birthday cakes in 7 days. At this rate, how many birthday cakes can Mark make in 5 days? And so the 2 units we are comparing here is cakes to days. Mark makes 42 cakes in 7 days. So that is the rate given to us in the problem, 42 cakes per 7 days. So let's find the unit rate, which means how many cakes could he make in 1 day? How many cakes are on top and days are on bottom? How many cakes in 1 day? Well, to get from 7 to 1, I divide by 7, and if I divide by 7 on the bottom, I also divide by 7 in the top of my rate. And I know 42 divided by 7 is 6, right? So if he makes 42 cakes in 7 days, that means that his unit rate is making 6 cakes per 1 day, or 6 cakes per day. And if I know he makes 6 cakes per day, and I want to find out how many cakes can he make in 5 days, right? That was the question. That's what I'm looking for. How would I get from 1 to 5? Well, I would need to multiply by 5. And if I multiply the bottom of my rate by 5, I do the same thing in the top. 6 times 5 would give me 30 cakes, right? And so now I can answer my question. The question was, how many cakes can Mark make in 5 days? Well, in 5 days, he makes 30 cakes. So 30 cakes is my answer. Number 2. Says Alicia drove at a constant speed and traveled 183 miles in 3 hours. At this rate, how many miles would Alicia travel in 11 hours? So first, let's write the rate given to you in the problem. Okay, I want you to write these boxes, rate, unit rate, equivalent rate, so that you can see the process. First, the rate given to us in the problem. 183 miles, M-I, miles. Alicia travels 183 miles per 3 hours, H-R-S, hours. That is the rate in the problem. So let's find the unit rate. How many miles is she traveling per 1 hour? We'll set this rate equal to the unit rate. And remember, the unit rate always has a bottom number of 1, right? Because we want her speed or her miles per 1 hour. Okay? To get from 3 to 1, what do? We divide it by 3, right? 3 divided by 3 is 1. And so if we divide by 3 in the bottom of the rate, we also divide by 3 in the top of the rate. And so 183 divided by 3 would tell us how many miles she travels per 1 hour. 183 divided by 3, that's going to be 61, right? She travels 61 miles every hour. That is the rate. But that's not what we're asked, right? In the problem, it asks us at this rate, how many miles would she travel in 11 hours? And so we set this unit rate equal to an equivalent rate of some number of miles for 11 hours, right? Because that's what we want to know. How far or how many miles does she go in 11 hours? To get from 1 to 11, we multiplied by 11, right? 1 times 11 is 11. And if you multiply by 11 in the bottom of your rate, you do the same thing in the top of your rate. 61 times 11 would give you the number of miles she travels in 11 hours. 61 times 11 is going to be 671. Okay, so the question was, how many miles would she travel in 11 hours? Well, in 11 hours, she is going this far. She is going 671 miles. That is your final answer. Last example, number 3. Number 3 says Charles can type 675 words in 9 minutes. At this rate, how many words can Charles type in 13 minutes? So first, let's write the rate given to us in the problem. It tells us that Charles types 675 words. 675 words. Always be sure to label 675 words per 9 minutes. That is the rate given to us in the problem. So now let's find the unit rate. If he does 675 words in 9 minutes, how many words does he type in 1 minute? Again, notice how our unit rate has a bottom number of 1, a denominator of 1. So to get from 9 to 1, what did I do? I divided by 9, right? 9 divided by 9 is 1. And if I divide by 9 in the bottom of my rate, I do the same thing in the top of my rate. 675 divided by 9 would give me how many words he types in 1 minute. 675 divided by 9 is 75, right? So he is typing 75 words per 1 minute. And then if I know he types 75 words in 1 minute, and I want to find out how many words he types in 13 minutes, I can say, how did I get from 1 to 13? Well, I multiplied by 13, right? 1 times 13 is 13. If I multiply by 13 in the bottom of my rate, I do the same thing in the top of my rate. 75 times 13 is 975. And this is how many words he types in 13 minutes. And so now I am ready to answer my question. How many words can he type in 13 minutes? 975 words. I label my answer and I circle final answer.